Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Big Time Talkers. I'm the Engine Brock Dorton.
I am the main man, Tommy Haley.
I am the emo that listens to Screamo, Macy Shear.
And welcome back to another edition of Big Time Talkers, as this week's a little bit weirder for us because there's not really NFL to talk about. Kind of sucks. It's like 50% of what we did this year.
That's what a lot of people did. If they start a podcast, it's like, all right, let's just talk about football.
Yeah, that's what brings in the money, but strangely enough, we've seen an uptick in viewership since football has ended, so make of that what you will. How are y'all doing this week?
Doing good.
It's good?
Could be better.
Yeah, you always say that.
Sorry, I just, deal with, sorry not to offend anyone on here, but I deal with big dumb men all day who kind of sit there and act like I can't do my job. Sorry.
And the first bleep of the week goes to Macy.
Sorry. That, really grinds my gears.
You wanna grind my gears?
It does. It gets to me.
Yeah, I can understand that. A little bit of an interesting flavor for the podcast this week. A lot of topics that we're going to be talking about.
What was that?
Jesus Christ.
that was my burp. I don't know.
A demon just possessed Macy. God. As I was saying, we have an interesting selection of topics to talk about this week because there is no football, so we divert our attention to the other sports that are going on right now, Tommy.
Ew, other sports.
Before we do that, let me do 1 second. I think dinner's ready. Give me 1 second.
Oh my lord. Tommy, of course, will be giving us a full breakdown of the most recent golf to happen this past week, because I know he'll love to do that. Isn't that right?
I made an Uncrustable.
Macy's eating an Uncrustable. I made burgers and mac and cheese for my family. I actually cooked tonight. Because I can't cook.
So, I ate, leftover Chinese food that I made last night. Because I didn't take my lunch to work with me, so I was starving when I got home. And now I'm kind of just snacking on some frozen Uncrustables.
That's completely understandable. I think.
And I had not smoked yet, so...
Well, hey, let's save that for your podcast, CSP. Listen, there's plenty of that talk this past week. With your Q&A and stuff. So, we'll just leave it at that, won't we?
Mm-hmm. But, bro, my go-to for anything that has to do with that, Uncrustables. I don't know why.
I mean, to each their own, I guess.
For Uncrustables and Mountain Dew. Best.
Okay. Have to take your word for it.
Mm-hmm.
As we're waiting for Tommy here, Macy, I was going to say it for your podcast, but right now it works because there's probably a bigger audience to hear it here. The reaction to your placement of AC/DC in the power rankings last week did not go over too well. At all.
Of AC/DC?
Yeah, you had them third out of the four that were listed. People were not happy with that.
For what?
The four bands that were given to you, and you had to power rank them.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry.
So, people were pretty mad at you for that in this past week's CSP.
That's fine. They can be mad.
Sure enough, they were. You back, Tommy?
It's my life. Oh.
No, go ahead, Macy.
Oh, it's my life, and I'll live it how I want to, Mom.
Neither am I a woman nor your mother. So, Some big issues with that right there. Your statement is factually incorrect. Mr. Haley, are you back?
Yes, I am back.
All right, now give us a full breakdown on golf this past week. Thank you.
Well, nothing really happened. I mean, the Saudi Golf League thing. I mean, Bryson is committed to the PGA after saying he was going to leave for the Saudi Golf League. I don't know what's happening with Phil Mickelson. Quite frankly, no one does. Let's see, Genesis Invitational was this past week, I believe, if I look it up. Joaquin Niemann won it at 19 under.
That's pretty impressive.
It's pretty impressive, especially where they play.
Where is it played at?
LA Country Club.
Okay. We've stated on here that I am a novice when it comes to golf knowledge, so...
I suck at golf, so...
Yeah, well...
They play next week, or this coming week, they're doing their quote-unquote Florida swing, as they like to say it, starting with the Honda Classic in Florida.
Gee, I never would have guessed in the Florida swing that it'd be in Florida.
The Florida swing, they start at PGA National this week for the Honda Classic. One of my favorite tournaments.
All right.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, that's good. How much longer till the Masters?
We got the rest of February, all of March.
So a month.
April 7th is when it is. I don't know how many. I can't count up to.
A month-ish is what we're looking at?
About a month-ish, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. All of you that complain that we don't talk about enough golf, there you go. And for the three of you that complain that we don't talk enough about NASCAR, Austin Cindric won the Daytona 500. So there you go. That is all the NASCAR you're going to get out of me.
They're making a left turn.
Making a left turn. Oh, they're making another left turn.
I wonder what's going to happen next. Another left turn.
Left turn.
The wise words.
And then a car crash.
Oh, wow. Okay. The wise words of Jeff Dunham come to reality here on B-Card Entertainment's Big Time Talkers. Isn't it lovely? Speaking of things that are lovely, it's now time for our top 5 of the week this week.
Ooh. Ooh.
So I wouldn't say it's pretty.
Diverse?
Very. Yeah, I would say, no, diverse is the better option.
Because, well, out of the 5 major sports in North America, all but one have had teams relocate in the last 20 years. 20, we'll call it 21. No, 20.
20, that'd be a good
20.
Nice.
I'm thinking, yeah. Jets, or Thrashers to Winnipeg to become the Jets. NFL had a slew of teams move recently. That would put Sonics to OKC, and that would put Expos to DC. So yeah, 20 years. A lot of movement in our lifetime, which is kind of scary, honestly. That's how it goes in American sports. But yeah, so the top 5 we're doing is top 5 worst relocations. So these are teams that were moved, but probably shouldn't have been, I guess. Be the correct usage, or the moves have completely backfired for one city more than the other.
Okay. Or I kind of took it into terms of what I thought was a weird kind of thing to do.
Or based off.
Go ahead, Tommy.
I kind of did it based off opinion. Is that too?
I mean,
weird, or
I took into account different factors to mine. My number one was just how disastrous it's been.
Oh.
And I'll explain more when we get to it, but who wants to go first with their top 5 worst relocations?
I guess I'll go first.
All right. Before we start, how many honorable mentions do each of you have?
It was
I have
hard.
none.
This one was decently tough to find honorable mentions, so I have none.
Macy, how many do you have?
I have none as well, because I couldn't really find any that, stuck to me.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I have 5 honorable mentions, so
Oh.
I will wait.
Redacted.
Nah, well, they will be redacted no more. Tommy, go ahead with your number 5.
My number 5. The Texas Rangers.
Oh, so the Washington Senators to Texas.
Or the former Washington Senators leave Texas, and look where they are now.
Yeah, I did the original team name to the city, so...
I said Washington Senators. I kind of did a little flavor text. So I said number 5, Washington Senators go big and broke in Texas.
Okay, so yours is more set up like a blog post then.
Kind of.
Yeah, which I need to talk to y'all about something afterwards regarding that. But anyway, explain why it is your number 5.
I mean, it was just look what happened when they were announcing that they were leaving. They literally tore up what was it? The stadium they were in?
God, I don't remember what it was at that point still. It might have been RFK? Maybe?
I think it was RFK. But then, if you look at what happened, they just literally, tear up tear up RFK. I believe that's the stadium's name. Editors put, a note saying I'm wrong.
I'll look it up right now for you.
What happened to them when they were in Texas? They were just never good. Yeah, what was it, 2012? Wait, no, what year was it they went to the Rangers?
2011, 2012.
I was going to say, after 11 and 12...
Well, they've been in the playoffs since.
They've been in the playoffs since, but, couldn't get back. And look what happened this past season, just straight back to the cellar.
I mean, I think that one's more on the ownership that they've had.
Which is, yes, that's part of it, but still, though.
Yes, I was correct. It was RFK that they were at before they moved. Look at me, knowing that random fact.
That's my number 5.
All right, Macy, do you want to go next, or will you let me?
I don't care. Either way.
All right. Well, I will go next. And we're going to start in a town that is smaller than Kansas City, losing their team. My number 5 is the Quebec Nordiques to Colorado.
That's a good one.
The city... go ahead, Tommy.
That's your number 5?
That's my number 5. I'm coming strong on this one. The worst part about the move, I think, more than anything else, is how soon after the Nordiques won the Stanley Cup. I mean, it was not much longer afterwards that they actually won the Stanley Cup as the Avalanche. But there was a pretty hardcore fan base, and still is in Quebec City today, that are still active and want them to come back, and or at least an NHL expansion team. And yeah, it was the very first year they were in Colorado, they won the Stanley Cup. So, you have that ripped out of Quebec in a city that is small. It's pretty small. It's the second largest city in the province of Quebec. But they just get their heart completely ripped out of them. They had a good team. They leave. And you watch them win the Stanley Cup somewhere else in another city. You good there, Macy?
Yeah. I have to move. What way I'm sitting, sorry.
Okay. But yeah, that's why the Quebec Nordiques are my number 5. Their move to Colorado, your thoughts, Tommy?
I mean, that talking about you're coming out the gate swinging.
Yep, and number 4 is going to be swinging even harder for the fences. Macy, your thoughts on my number 5?
I didn't even know it was such a team, so sorry.
It's NHL, so it makes sense. Your number 5, Macy.
So I just personally, it made me feel sad for this team, just like how their like parade went for them. So it'd be the Rams. Like, it's kind of like sad that like barely anyone showed up to like their like little parade thing, and they're like in LA.
Hey, Tommy, remember what I said last week on the podcast about them winning the Super Bowl and why they had the first parade at Disney?
What is that?
You don't boo Mickey Mouse. They had a bigger showing for that than they did for the LA parade.
That's
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like, I don't know. Yeah.
It's a solid one. It was one of the ones I revealed as one of the obvious honorable mentions on Twitter. I don't have either of the recent NFL ones on my honorable mentions or my main list, so...
No. Neither do I.
I felt it was going to be taken by one of y'all, so...
Oh.
No, I was like, you know what, I probably shouldn't really do, like, modern day relocations. Like, I'm like, should I do the Raiders going to Vegas? I'm like, no. Because that'd be like a cop-out kind of deal, you know?
Define modern.
Like, I said, the Raiders going to Vegas.
I know, but, okay, so that's where your capping is. The three most recent NFL moves are modern.
NFL moves, like, I'm not saying the Chargers going to LA and leaving San Diego. Like, that kind of deal, you know?
Yeah. All right. Mason, that's a pretty good one. Tommy, you're number 4.
My number 4, it's kind of like a package deal.
Okay.
It is the Dodgers and Giants both leaving for California.
I thought about putting that one on my honorable mentions, but I don't know. I feel like it wasn't that. It ended up not being as bad for the cities as and it kind of worked out for both teams. So that's kind of why they didn't make my list.
At the time, it was like New York was like one of those cities that had like 3 baseball teams. You had the Dodgers, you had the Dodgers, you had the Giants, you had the Yankees of their respective boroughs in New York.
What borough were the Giants in?
I don't remember where the Giants were. They were
because I feel
because
like
New York.
I feel like you always hear about the Dodgers and the Yankees from then. You don't hear a lot about the Giants.
Because everyone forgets that the Giants were in New York at the same time as the Dodgers and Yankees.
I think they played the Polo Grounds because that's where the football Giants played.
No, you're right. That's where they did play.
Yeah, so it's not really a borough of New York, that area.
Well, I mean, the Dodgers had like Ebbets Field in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but like the Dodgers, obviously, that's but I don't know.
But like everyone like if you watch the Mets 30, that 4-part Mets 30 for 30 they did, that's why like the Mets are both orange and blues, because of the teams that like the Giants left and the Dodgers left, like,
which is a nice tribute.
Which is cool. Well, like, yeah, that's
and the Mets logo, the NY, right? The NY the Mets use is similar to the ones that the Giants used.
Yeah.
And it's orange, so.
Yeah, it's orange and blue, kind of like, the Dodgers and the Giants.
All right. Interesting. We're gonna stay on the East Coast, but it's gonna stay in hockey though for me. As my number 4 are the Hartford Whalers to Carolina. This move has not really benefited anybody. The only thing it did was embolden Hartford to want to keep their team. There were poor attendance and terrible attendance when the Whalers were up in Hartford. They were in a, if we're being honest, pretty bad arena. And since their move to Carolina, I mean, beyond the 06 Miracle run, or 05, I guess, would it be, when they won the Cup, there just hasn't been fan support in Carolina, which sucks, because right now they're a juggernaut. The only downside is they're in the same division as the Lightning and the Panthers, and the Panthers look like world beaters right now.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
But, I mean, it's one that has benefited nobody, plus literally, the Whalers went from sharing an arena with an NCAA basketball team to sharing an arena with an NCAA basketball team.
Isn't that what Arizona's kind of doing right now?
Well, hold that thought. We'll get to them eventually.
Oh, what is Arizona about ready to do?
Again, hold that thought. We'll get to that eventually. But yeah, Whalers to Carolina. It hasn't really benefited anybody. It's almost like they should have moved somewhere else.
No, I don't. If they would have stayed, I don't think it would have been they would have benefited from staying.
No, exactly. They should have gone somewhere else other than Carolina. I mean, at that time that they moved, they were thinking about putting a team in. Oh shit! I'm trying to remember. I think it was another Northeast city. I don't remember who it was though now. I'm blanking on it, but they were getting ready to. There were other suitors in the Northeast. I think Providence was one of them. But yeah, they settled on Carolina. So, I know Houston was one of them.
I mean, it works out now if you look at it, kind of, even though they're in the same division with, said, Tampa and Florida.
They still don't have the fan support. Because they're in Raleigh. They're not in Charlotte. If they were in Charlotte, it'd be completely different. I think they would have more fan support. The issue is that you're in Raleigh.
But is that the only issue?
No, there's plenty of other issues when it comes to the Hurricanes that we don't have time for. Macy, you're number 4.
Mine is the Atlanta Braves.
From Boston?
Yes.
Huh?
Huh?
I am confused. Why are they your number 4? It seemingly has worked out pretty well for them.
I know, but it's just, kind of weird, because, I don't know, they were in Boston at first, which, kind of makes sense, because Boston Braves,
Alliteration?
Yeah. I don't know. The Atlanta Braves isn't, really,
So, for you, it's more the name that you have an issue with.
Yeah, it's more of the name than anything. Some of these are, personally I don't know how I judged off of, how I felt about the moves and stuff. It was, kind of, personal, and some were more, base. Yeah, I'll just say it's more personal.
Actually, okay, so I was incorrect. They weren't the Boston Braves when they moved to Atlanta. They were the Milwaukee Braves.
Yeah. It was, it said first in Boston, moved to
Milwaukee
in the 50s, and then to Atlanta in the 60s.
Yep. I don't know. It's an interesting pick. I don't know if that would be on mine, because they've had fan support when they left Milwaukee. Milwaukee wasn't what they are now. I mean, God, look at how crazy they're going over the Brewers now, since the Brewers rejoined the league.
I mean, it's a bad move for them. It's just kind of different, I guess. I don't know.
All right, Tommy, you're number 3.
Oh, it's probably on your list. I'm going to say it. The original Baltimore Colts leaving in the middle of the night for Indy.
That is not on my list.
Really? I thought that would be on your list.
No, it ended up benefiting both cities.
Granted, I know it's now benefiting both cities.
Yeah, that's why it's not on my list. Like, my number 5 and 4 are way more egregious than your 3.
At the time, literally Irsay backing up the entire Colt, like the Baltimore Colts in Mayflower trucks and leaving in the middle of the night to leave for Indy is just despicable.
I mean, it is. I mean, I'm not excusing it, but I don't see it as a bad move. I feel like it's gone pretty well for both cities. Both have Super Bowl championships. One is 2, and it's a team that left.
Which is crazy to
City
think.
that lost their team ended up having 2 Super Bowls out of it, so I don't know. It's a pick that more people would figure out than my number 3, but I don't know. If we're thinking egregious moves that have not benefited any cities, it's my number 3.
You didn't really.
No, go ahead.
You said but just relocation. You didn't really specify. It said it had to benefit both cities.
No,
I know.
like that. I know. I thought that's where you were going to be going with it.
No, I mean I just went off of personal preference of where it's just
fair enough.
Yeah, one team, both cities kind of benefited, but then there was oh yeah, this one kind of was screw you to this city and all that. But no,
I mean, with my Nordiques, it's my number 5, the Nordiques. It was literally just plucking them out of being a playoff contender and gifting the team that you moved to a Stanley Cup. So
okay.
My number 3 has not worked out for either city at all. My number 3 is the Kansas City Kings to Sacramento. Holy cow, you want to talk about something that is completely blown up in the face of the NBA. This franchise has pretty much just been cursed from their existence.
Is it playing?
You kind of took one of mine.
Oh, did I? Is that on your list?
Yeah.
What number?
2.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
What were you gonna...
only because...
Go ahead.
Well, only because I feel Kansas City kind of deserves a basketball team.
I mean, we can go over it next week for our top 5, which I'll reveal what it is, because that kind of ties into it. But there, I don't know. I'll get to it more. Yeah, this move just hasn't benefited either team. What were you going to say, Tommy?
Weren't they in... So, are they in Sacramento?
Yes, they're still in Sacramento.
Okay, well, there was 1 year they played in Long Beach or something like that, or am I just saying?
No, they were in Rochester. They start off as Rochester Royals and then Cincinnati Royals.
Omaha, Kansas City Kings, Kings, Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, since the 1980s.
Also, they played a few home games in St. Louis for a brief span of time as well. But, yeah, I mean... And the Kings have had about the same amount of success that they've had in Sacramento over a longer period of time than they did in Kansas City, where the biggest accomplishment for both were making a Western Conference Championship appearance, and that's it.
I was about to say, they just have that Western Conference appearance, and that's about it.
Yeah, Sacramento has that one, and you know which one we're talking about. It's one where they got screwed. And then Kansas City, they got one and lost to the Rockets in 1981, I do believe, and then lost to 83. Damn it, now I'm questioning it. Alright, Kansas City, it was 81 is when they went. They lost to the Rockets in the 81 playoffs. Those Rockets, I do believe, would go on to lose the finals.
They lose to Boston that year?
Yes, that was one of the. That was during the getting ready to start the Lakers versus Boston rivalry. But so when they were in Kansas City, the Kings made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playoff appearances from 1972 to 1985. In that span, the Sacramento Kings have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So double that from 85 till present day. So, also attendance is still pretty terrible there in Sacramento.
I mean, the team's always bad, so
It doesn't help. That again, that's just being inept at the management level. Macy, you're number 3.
Just because I grew up in New Mexico and like everything was like just closer to it, it'd be the Oakland Raiders moving to being the Las Vegas Raiders.
All right.
I thought you were going to say LA, but okay.
Oh, well, that too. I don't think LA needed that many freaking teams.
All right. I mean, it's a common one. I think most people know.
Yeah, and like they'd been the Oakland Raiders for a while, so like.
Yeah, majority of their history.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there's not really the only thing other than that for Oakland around New Mexico is either just doing the Texas teams. So.
The Cardinals.
Oh yeah, and the Cardinals. I forget that Arizona's so close to New Mexico.
How it borders it?
It's right next to the... Okay, nope, I'm not... Nope.
Tommy, you're number 2.
My number 2. The Seattle Supersonics leaving for Oklahoma City.
That was my number 6. So that was my first honorable mention.
You had... If you watched The Last Dance, you saw how good Seattle was.
They were good. They were really good.
Contender in the Western Conference. Like, there's nothing need to say less.
Yeah.
Them just leaving for Oklahoma City, just downright.
Which is such a weird move. Like, out of all the cities that were available, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, St. Louis, Vegas, you know.
Granted, it is
Montreal. Like, you had options. Virginia, Baltimore.
But like them, I mean, they had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, people forget James Harden played for Oklahoma City because they don't recognize him without a beard.
He had kind of a beard playing for them in the finals against the Heat.
Kind of. But he didn't have the beard he has today.
No. He's also a lot skinnier back then.
That too. A lot of people forget that Harden was on the team. Plus, I mean, they were good for that stretch. Now
they're dog water now.
Yeah, they're just straight dog water.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Just wow. So, Supersonics to Oklahoma City is your number 2.
Correct.
My number 2, we're going to go back over to the gridiron in a one that kind of almost did a complete salting of the earth to the team that left, to the city that it left. Mine is the Houston Oilers to Tennessee. They were a playoff team. They had Warren Moon.
Who, the Oilers?
Yes.
Problem is they had to deal with Pittsburgh during the 70s, especially.
Well, okay, but when they moved, it was the 90s.
That's true, but still, though.
They came in. When they moved, it was right in the middle of those Bills teams. They still left, and Bud Adams wanted to leave. He said, give me a brand new stadium or I'm gone. And he left. They didn't care. The city didn't care. You literally just sent off everyone that mattered so you could leave. And that's what they did. They went to Memphis, which, God, holy cow.
That's right. I forget they first moved to Memphis, then they went to Nashville.
Boy, that that experiment ended well. God.
So I don't mean to do shameless plugs here, but for those who are listening, if you want to learn more about that, go watch the urinating tree video about the Houston Oilers. Really good video. Highly recommend it.
It is. But yeah, Houston Oilers to Tennessee. I really wonder what would have happened if, when the Oilers were finally playing in Nashville but had to play in Vanderbilt Stadium, if there still wasn't fan support for them, what they would have done.
Like when they first moved to Tennessee.
No, so like after they were in Memphis, and that was then obvious disaster, because that's 3 hours away, and they finally made it to Nashville, which is where they are at currently and reside. If their stadium wasn't built yet, Nissan Coliseum wasn't built yet, so they had to play 2 seasons at Vanderbilt Stadium there in Nashville. That's a pretty small venue. It's I do believe it is the smallest in the SEC.
That's almost.
Which, granted, it's the SEC. With the exception of Vanderbilt Stadium, all of them are 80,000 plus seat stadiums. So,
well, if I'm not mistaken, I know it's. When did they move? I know this was during the 90s, but I know this is most recently. When I know it's not a relocation. But when Minnesota had was getting their stadium built, they had to play at the University of Minnesota.
Yeah. But that's comparable to an NFL-sized stadium.
But still, though, it was a smaller stadium. It was outdoors, too.
Yeah.
That was the Vikings.
Yeah, but my point is, when they were at Vanderbilt, and when they went to Vanderbilt, and if there still wasn't people who wanted to come to the games, what they would have done then? Would they be the San Antonio Oilers right now? Would they be the Los Angeles Oilers right now? What would have happened? That's my question. The worst part was they were building a really good team during all this, and they just had to suffer through it all. So, but yeah, my number 2 is the Oilers to Tennessee. Macy, you said yours was the Kansas City Kings to Sacramento?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add on to it?
No?
All right. Tommy, review your previous 4 before saying your number 1.
All right. So, to review, I said my number 5 was the Washington Senators.
To Texas.
Leaving for Texas into the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 was the Giants and Dodgers, both going west to California. Number 3 was the Colts to Indianapolis. And then my number 2 were the Supersonics leaving for Oklahoma City out of all the places they could have chose.
Yeah.
And then my number 1, Cleveland leaving for Baltimore. The original Cleveland Browns leaving for Baltimore.
Wow, there is one I am very surprised is not on your list.
What is it, say it?
Expos to DC.
See, I wanted to do that, but I'm like, It's nah.
I am genuinely shocked by that.
The original, notice how I said the original Cleveland Browns leaving for Baltimore.
Not the current ones.
Not the current ones.
The 99 on Browns.
Yes. They straight up, Art Modell was like, build me a new stadium. Which his reasoning was fine. I mean,
It was solid reasoning, but it's the same reasoning that Stan Kroenke gave.
It's like, build me a new stadium, or I'm leaving.
Same thing that Bud Adams said.
He basically said, build me a new stadium, or I'm leaving.
And he did.
Because if you... The Cleveland baseball team, because I'm not going to say their name.
The Guardians?
Cleveland baseball team. I hate that name.
Cleveland Spiders.
Spiders. There, that's better. The Spiders got the J, or Progressive Field now.
Yep.
In downtown Cleveland. I mean, the Cavs have the Q... what is it now? Is it still
Quicken
the Q?
Loans.
Huh?
I do believe it is still the Quicken Loans Arena.
still like it's called like the Q, right, or something like that.
Yeah, it's short for Quicken Loans. Yeah.
I mean, they have those too. I mean, like, and look what it was doing. It was bringing people into downtown Cleveland, making money, all that kind of stuff. And then Art Modell was kind of stuck in Cleveland State, whatever the name of the
Cleveland
stadium
Municipal
was.
Stadium.
Yeah, Cleveland Municipal Stadium. I mean, they were stuck there. It was getting old, very rundown.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, like, his reasoning was, like, justified.
Yeah.
But the city, for some reason, kind of... here's the thing. Like, if you watch the 30 for 30, what is it called? Like, Believeland? You can't really... If it's, like, the city's fault or, like, you know, the Modell, like, our Modell's in them fault. But, like, if you actually watched it, just shows you how passionate the city of Cleveland is with their sports teams.
Yeah, they're very passionate.
Very, and I mean very passionate. Hell, like their very last game in Cleveland, they were tearing seats out of the stadium.
Yep. Yeah, they were.
But yeah, that's my number one. Cleveland leaving for Baltimore, and then in 2000?
Yeah, the same year that the Browns came back.
Yeah, the same year the Browns come back, they went. The Ravens, they're now the Ravens. They win a Super Bowl.
Have you heard some of the proposed names for the Baltimore team, though?
What was it?
Oh my god! So they were the Ravens, obviously.
Yeah.
The Stallions, because they were still bitter about the Colts, I guess. The Bombers, and I think the other one was the Crabs.
The Crabs.
Because, Maryland Crabs,
Oh, yeah, Old Bay seasoning.
Yep, all that.
That actually would have been a cool name.
The Bombers! You had the Bombers as an option.
Not the Crabs. You had the Crabs as the option. That's an awesome name.
I mean, I like the Ravens, so...
Yeah,
it's the
Ravens stick.
No
No
other team's using a name like that, so...
Yeah.
I think you know why they're not any teams using the name the Crabs, so...
Yeah, obviously.
Alright, my previous four were the Nordiques to Colorado to become the Avalanche, Hartford Whalers to Carolina to become the Hurricanes, Kansas City Kings to Sacramento, Houston Oilers to Tennessee to become the Titans, and my number one. Tell me, it's no shy thing that I want an NHL team in Kansas City, is it? Made it pretty obvious.
I swear to God, if you have the same one as me, I'm gonna freaking jump off a roof.
This team, as Tommy hinted to, is having to move stadiums again because of the sheer idiotic move made by the NHL back in the 90s and by Gary Bettman's stubbornness to keep this team here. My number one is the original Winnipeg Jets to Arizona.
Oh, okay.
What the hell is your number one?
Oh, I think I actually might know what it is.
No, there's nothing worse than this one. This is the gift that keeps on taking a massive dump on your face. Beyond 1 year, the Arizona Coyotes have not gotten over the top half of the league in attendance. 1 year. You want to know the 1 year they did that, Tommy? What happened?
What year was it?
What happened when they did that?
What year?
2011. You want to know what happened the next year? They had 46 points. They made one run at the Cup, and that's it. And when I say at the Cup, they made it to the Western Semis and then got smacked by the Kings. Because the bad thing is for the Coyotes, when they were good, it was right in the middle of that dynasty that the West had with the Blackhawks and Kings winning every other year, except for 1 year where Boston won the Cup. the move to Arizona has done nothing but just been horrendous for the league. The league is bleeding money because they own part of the team. And it all around, they now have to go to a 5,000-seat arena, guaranteeing them being at the bottom of NHL attendance.
That's
And they have to share it with a college, is the worst part. Like, yeah, the Hurricanes share theirs with the college, but at least the owner of the team owns the venue.
which is a surprising thing. I'm like, wow, they actually own it. They don't have to have the college pay for it. That's surprising.
Well, the Hurricanes owner is loaded, so there is that. But, and I mean, with the Avalanche, they're bought by the Cronkies, so Stan Kroenke owns them too.
Oh yeah.
But out of all of these on the list, Nordiques to Colorado have a cup. Whalers to Carolina have a cup. Kings to Sacramento, listen, they at least have decent enough attendance that they're not an embarrassment on the league. Oilers to Tennessee have been to a Super Bowl. The Jets to Arizona is the only time where the team has actually fallen off harder getting to the city they were in than before. Out of all my options here that I've given to you. The Coyotes need to get moved and moved fast, if not completely contract.
They need to move away from the entire state of Arizona because it showed that they have absolutely zero fan base there.
There is
all.
no interest in hockey in Arizona. Well, there is some, but no. There's nothing. You're getting outdrawn on a nightly basis some nights by high school basketball in the state of Arizona. That's pathetic. And that's going to show even more when you go to that 5,000-seat arena, and there are still empty seats.
Okay, it wouldn't surprise me to like to show shots to see the stadium where it's like not even like full. Like you have a 5,000-seat arena. How?
On a college campus.
On a college campus, and you're still at the very bottom of the attendance list.
Well, they'll have to be because they got a 5,000-seat arena.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
even percentage of the state, even percentage of the arena full, they're still going to be at the bottom. Like, the Florida Panthers have shown the past few years, no matter how good your team is, if you're in a city that doesn't care about hockey, they won't come.
Oh yeah, if they don't care about hockey at all, they won't.
Perfect examples for you. Panthers in the playoffs recently, barring their first cup run against the Avalanche where the Avalanche won. They don't show up. Anaheim Ducks in the playoffs, Western Conference Championship against the Nashville Predators. They couldn't sell out the venue. They got it to a half full one night for one of the games. You want to know what time that game started here in Kansas City? 10. It started at 10. That means it started at 8 over there. You couldn't fill it up? On a Friday? In Anaheim? But the worst of all is Arizona. Because pretty much the only thing populating the stands at Arizona games are the opposing team. It's even shown even worse when someone from the Sharks, the Kings, the Blackhawks, the Blues, hell, the Minnesota Wild, the Dallas Stars. When Dallas Stars fans are outnumbering you at a hockey game and you're the home team, there's something wrong with you. Because there is no fan base in Dallas pretty much for the Stars either. They're on my honorable mentions. Macy, your previous 4 before you give your number 1.
It'd be the Rams from
St. Louis to LA?
just anywhere. Yeah. The Atlanta Braves from being the Boston Braves.
To Milwaukee
Oakland.
to Atlanta.
You mean
What?
Milwaukee?
You mean Milwaukee
Oh
instead
yeah,
of Boston?
Milwaukee. Sorry, Milwaukee, and then Oakland to being the LA Raiders.
You mean the Vegas Raiders?
The what?
The Las Vegas Raiders?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I got lost for a second.
Okay.
That sounds so dumb. Anyways, the Sacramento Kings
Okay.
for the same reason why. And then top number one is the Kansas City Scout to being the New Jersey Devils.
Well, I mean, they went to Colorado first.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So the Scouts were in Kansas City for 2 years. Left, went to Colorado, became the original Colorado Rockies for 2-3 years, and then moved to New Jersey. It's worked out pretty well for the Devils.
No,
it did.
Multiple Stanley Cup appearances and multiple Stanley Cups. Say it's worked out pretty well for them.
Yeah, I'm just salty that that could have been our team. Like we could have had a hockey team here.
Well, we do have a hockey team here, but they're the ECHL.
Yeah,
But
them
yeah.
and
Is that all you have?
oh yeah, I don't have any honorable mentions. I
Okay.
I couldn't really.
All right, here are my honorable mentions. I'll get the ones that that have been mentioned out of the way already. Scouts to Colorado. Sonics to Oklahoma City. Expos to DC. Here we go. Here are some obscure ones for you. The Hawks to Atlanta. They were in St. Louis. They had a pretty good fan base there. They just left because Atlanta's a bigger market. The Buffalo Braves to San Diego. Do either one of you know who the Buffalo Braves are?
what are you talking about? Oh, wait,
Buffalo Braves to San Diego. And then that same team moving from San Diego to Los Angeles to become the Los Angeles Clippers. That's right, folks. The Clippers started in Buffalo as the Braves.
yeah, I always forget that they started in Buffalo.
It's a weird... That was part of the weird portion of NBA history, honestly. Other ones on the list, the Lakers to Los Angeles from Minneapolis. That is why they are the Lakers.
Ow.
And my final one is the Minnesota North Stars to Dallas. Also the California Golden Seals to Cleveland to become the Cleveland Barons. NHL's had some weird moves. I'll just say that. That's all I'm going to say on that. Next week, it's top 5. Are y'all ready for this one?
Yes.
Next week's top 5 is top 5 cities that should have a sports team. So, as Macy mentioned, Kansas City, NBA, NHL, as an example. And then as a little twist on this, I want you to give them a name.
Okay.
So, kind of like what me and Tommy did with the MLB expansion franchise, expansion franchises, kind of something like that. Sound good to y'all?
Sure.
Sure.
All right, that is next week's top 5. It's now time for the MIP of the week this week.
I think I might have one.
Not a lot of candidates this week, if we're being honest. Am I the only one that feels that?
Have one. I have one.
Oh, you do now?
Huh?
You do have one now?
Yeah, I was looking through some stuff, and then I found one that I overread.
All right, and So, do you want to go first then? Since
Yep.
I'm pretty sure me and Tommy have the same, if not similar ones.
Sorry, I was listening to what my parents were fucking bullshitting about.
Again, the beeps go to Macy.
Oh, sorry. So my MIP of the week goes to a New York City high school teacher. There's a video that is captured of that teacher for slamming a 14-year-old girl against a wall.
Huh.
Wow.
That is, wow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Tommy, you ready to say ours?
I'll start.
Okay.
I think
Do you remember the year 2016?
Yes, I was depending on the time of year, either a sophomore or junior in high school.
Remember how awesome the dunk contest was that year?
No, because I was probably at a wrestling meet.
Dude, the dunk contest in 2016, I mean, you've seen videos of it
Yes.
now, right?
Yes, I've seen it.
That is amazing. It's one of the greatest of all time. Not this year. Oh boy, it was bad.
Yeah.
how bad was it?
Oh, it was. I think I would rather watch paint dry.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would rather watch tennis than the NBA
Yeah, I would.
dunk contest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good apt example. I would rather have watched tennis than the dunk contest. Jeez, it was so bad.
I would rather have watched a 15-hour compilation of highlights of Cam Newton than the dunk contest.
Okay.
So if it's that bad, I probably would have rather watched the Tom Brady documentary than watch it.
Oh,
man.
that's coming up. I know Tommy's picking that one for us to watch.
What, the Man in the Arena one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not having you guys watch that.
Okay. We'll get to that later, but in our review of this week and how we're doing reviews going forward. Oh, I hear Macy's dog
No, yeah, sorry, that's Smush.
making her appearance here on BTT as opposed to CSP.
Yeah. Being a little snorty dog. Snort,
So
snort.
Tommy has the NBA dunk contest. I have NBA All-Star Weekend.
Just in general?
Yes, because it was terrible.
Oh, then I guess I can use this one because I thought you guys had this basketball one.
What?
So I guess I can use this one instead of that one about the teacher.
Okay, what do you have?
The Michigan coach starting that brawl.
She's talking about Juwan Howard.
All right, Tommy, we lose, she wins. That's easily it.
Yeah.
Yep, Juwan Howard's the MIP of the week this week.
Okay, I didn't know if like one of you guys had already had it.
I
but
totally
it's kinda,
forgot
like, in
about
my back
it.
Pocket.
I totally
Really?
forgot about it because of the NBA All-Star weekend was just so bad.
But not
hang
as
on,
bad
we're
as
gonna,
this.
We're going to do this right now. Out of the 4 major sports in North America and the leagues, we're going to power rank the four of them in their All-Star weekend / Pro Bowls. Tommy, you go first.
I don't watch a whole lot of sports.
Well, I personally, my favorite is MLB All-Star Weekend.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2, I mean, the NHL.
Yep. Number 3.
It would definitely be the NBA.
And then Pro Bowl's your final one?
Yes.
MLB, NHL. Based off the last few years, I'm going to put Pro Bowl and NBA All-Star Weekend together at the bottom.
You can't do that.
Dude, they're both so bad. I don't watch them anymore.
Can't do that though. You can't group them.
All right, I guess I'll give NBA All-Star ahead of the Pro Bowl because I do enjoy when there is a good dunk contest. But
Yeah,
that's
not
about
it.
it. That's it. That's literally it. Macy, you?
Me?
Yep.
I don't watch a whole lot of like other sports besides like football and like some college basketball.
Okay, fair enough.
So, sorry.
All right, it is now time for the trivia question this week. Are y'all ready for the trivia question?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. With the NHL's Stadium Series game being played this weekend between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Nashville Predators, what NHL All-Star game is the most attended game? A, the 2020 Winter Classic between the Dallas Stars and Nashville Predators. B, the 2014 Winter Classic between the Detroit Red Wings and the Toronto Maple Leafs. C, the 2015 Stadium Series between the Los Angeles Kings and the San Jose Sharks. D, the 2019 Winter Classic between the Boston Bruins and Chicago Blackhawks. Or E, the 2008 Winter Classic between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Buffalo Sabres.
Can you repeat the question again? It kind of...
What team, or what outdoor NHL game is the most attended game in history?
I want to say...
Can you repeat the answers, please?
A, 2020 NHL All-Star, A, 2020 NHL Winter Classic, Dallas Stars versus Nashville Predators. B, 2014 Winter Classic, Detroit Red Wings versus Toronto Maple Leafs. C, 2015 Stadium Series game between the Los Angeles Kings and the San Jose Sharks. D, the 2019 Winter Classic between the Boston Bruins and the Chicago Blackhawks. Or E, the 2008 Winter Classic between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Buffalo Sabres.
I'm going to go with was it B, Red Wings and Maple Leafs?
All right, Macy?
All these C.
Kings and Sharks?
Yeah.
All right. Here are the stadiums that they are in before I reveal the answer. And I think you'll be able to guess who won, or which is the correct answer off this.
Oh, no, I know I'm correct.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did you look it up?
No, because I already know it.
All right. Winter Classic between Dallas and Nashville was in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Detroit versus Toronto was in the Big House in Michigan and Ann Arbor. Stadium Series between Kings and Sharks was in Levi Stadium. Bruins Blackhawks in the 19 Winter Classic was at Notre Dame Stadium. And the first ever Winter Classic between the Penguins and Sabres were at Ralph Wilson Stadium. The answer is B. Do you want to guess how many people were at that game?
Wasn't it like 110,000 or something like that?
Close. Very close, actually. The official attendance was 105,491. This year's Winter Classic is being played at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, as the Predators take on the Lightning. Me and Tommy were almost going to go to that game. We were this close. We're this close to greatness. Back to Big Time Talker. Sorry about that quick little break there that we had to take. Some stuff came up. It is now time for our review of our documentary this week. This is the first time we've ever actually done a documentary review here on the BTT. Good Lord, you good there, Macy?
Good?
Yeah, my dog is trying to knock over my gate. Sorry.
Okay.
So I'm like trying to politely be like, do not.
This week we reviewed a documentary that I enjoy a lot. We watched Crimes and Penalties, the story of the Dansbury Trashers. It is free to watch on Netflix.
It's called like this. It's like a documentary series called like Untold.
Yeah, Untold. Crimes and Penalties. But if you type in Crimes and Penalties, it'll come up.
Oh yeah, no, obviously.
But before we get into the review itself, going into finer quote-unquote details, overall thoughts on the documentary, guys?
This was I think my third time watching it.
This was my fourth.
Yeah, this was my third time watching. I'm like, God, this doc is still so good.
It is.
This was my first time.
Thoughts on it?
So like, it takes a certain type of documentary to keep me interested.
Mm-hmm.
I had to force myself to keep interested. So
yeah, I mean, we can talk about some broader points as to plus and minus after we go through it. What they could have done better, what they did good, but you'd rather they expanded on a little bit more. So just some general beginning of the documentary. We are immediately introduced to the two key figures of the documentary. Two of the main key figures. Jimmy Galante and AJ Galante were the owners of the Dansbury Trashers. I'm just going to ask you guys your thoughts right now. Thoughts when you first saw AJ in the documentary?
Like
AJ?
Yeah, the son.
I'm like, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this. I thought he came off as a douchebag.
I mean,
no, I have to. That was like my first time. I'm like, wow, he really just radiates douchebag energy, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, and then when you got into the story and I saw what he looked like as a young kid, I was like, this little little tiny kid turned into that big of a douchebag.
We'll get to it. We'll get more into that as we go on. But immediate thoughts when you saw Jimmy Galante for the first time.
He didn't look like he'd be in the mob or anything like that.
Okay, that's a stretch.
Oh my god. Tommy, were you thinking the same thing I was thinking when we saw him for the first time?
Right?
I saw him like, oh my god, he's a mob boss.
Oh, okay, yep.
I'm just
apropos that he does own a trash business.
As soon as he said, I'm in waste management, I'm like, oh my god.
I'm like, let's see, we're in upper northeast, I'm like, we're in Connecticut.
Near New York.
I'm like, of course, trash, obviously.
But yeah, so that's how he got his money, was in the trash business. I do have some little points here as we go through the documentary. We're introduced to the players the key figures, so Jimmy Galante, AJ Galante, the owner of the commissioner of the UHL. Some of the players, just get some quick little snippets from them.
The equipment manager.
Yeah, we'll get to him when we get there. Good God.
He's something else.
Like I said, when we get to him, I'll get your thoughts. I have some notes for you. So the Dansbury Ice Arena, where the Trashers play, seats 2,500 people for hockey. So it's a decent-sized venue.
Decently sized.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The United Hockey League, that was the name of the league that the Trashers played in. They were on the same level, third tier of minor league hockey for the NHL.
They were like, in baseball terms, they were like the AA?
AA, yeah. Now it's completely different. Now it's basically, you have NHL, which is obviously, MLB equivalent. AHL, which is AAA. ECHL, which is AA. And then you have everything else, which is single A. Or independent league. So I have a quote here from AJ talking about his childhood where he realized that he wasn't raised the same way as the other kids.
Oh, yeah, your dad's a freaking mob boss. Of course you're not.
Yeah, but he didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But, like, you would have think so. There's also a scene where he talks about his like having WWE wrestlers at his birthday party.
Hang on, we'll get there. I have a note on that. We'll get there. It's after this quote from him, and it's the teacher asking all the kids there at school in the class, what are some lessons that you've learned? I heard this, and I just, in my back of my mind, I'm like, let's go. So the quote is, quote, "You don't rat on anybody, and you be a stand-up guy." Is it bad I agree with that?
No, I was like, some pretty good advice.
Yeah, but after I heard that, I was like, yeah, his dad's a mob boss. Like, that's definitely something that somebody, like, tells you.
That's
when
God.
Yeah, his dad was a mob boss.
He was at the trash yard every summer, and he would sell lemonade and donuts, and would get his dad donuts every day. That was his job. Like,
I thought that was so cute and sweet. Sorry.
It is. No,
like,
it was.
Actually, was pretty, though, not gonna lie.
It tugged at my heartstrings. I was like, "Aw."
Aw, murder people. How adorable. These adults murder people. How adorable.
Jimmy Galante gets taken down for a year for tax fraud, which, why is it always mobsters get busted on tax fraud?
Tax fraud?
Yeah.
Tax fraud?
Yeah.
That,
Al Capone. Like, there are plenty of options, but...
that is actually a really good question. Like, how come it's always tax fraud?
Like, I get it. That's kind of, I guess an easy one to get them on, but... And then, yeah, right before we find that out, Tommy, you were saying about the birthday party.
This man had, let's see, Triple H.
WWE wrestling stars.
WWF.
China.
Wait, hang on. Start over the list. Again, these weren't small names. This wasn't like, Mark Marrow and...
He had The Rock.
The Rock, Triple H, Billy Gunn, Honky Tonk Man, China.
That was it, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
No, those are the only ones that were shown, but it's one of those, it's like, good Lord.
I was like, alright.
Because if China and the way Triple H was dressing, that's 98, so The Rock was either just about to win the title or was about to win the WWF Championship.
I think
he was about to win it. So that means Triple H and The Rock were having a feud for the IC title. At that time.
By this time this home video was out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh God.
I love the fact that they had home video, so that was cool.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it was awesome.
No one does home videos anymore.
No, they don't. I also do like the reason why AJ got into hockey. Because I feel like that's, if you ask a lot of current day NHL players, that's probably the same reason that they would give.
What, to be the bad guy?
No, the Mighty Ducks. That's why he got into hockey. I think it's lost on the majority of people how influential Mighty Ducks was to hockey.
Oh, have you seen like the new TV one, like the new one they did, like the remake they did, or like?
No, I have not.
No, nothing's as good as the original.
The Disney Plus show that they did, or whatever it was.
No, I haven't.
Good.
Don't watch it.
Good. It's a good thing you haven't seen it. Just don't watch it.
I watched the animated cartoon that Disney Channel put out back in the 90s.
Okay,
I love that movie.
Well, that's acceptable.
No, the animated cartoon.
The animated cartoon. Yeah. I'm talking about the new one they did.
I'm talking about the animated cartoon. I watched that. That is pure cheesy 90s
that was the
cartoons.
Greatest. I love that movie. I had it on VHS.
But yeah, that's why he got into hockey. So he became a goon because sure. And he was also a backyard wrestler. This is AJ that we're talking about here. AJ Galante. Tell me your thoughts when you saw backyard wrestling happening there.
I was like, okay. So this guy definitely likes Mick Foley then.
Mick Foley, Stone Cold, the Hardys.
Dude, I think he actually
Triple
had
H.
like Stone Cold as well.
Oh yeah. Did you ever do backyard wrestling as a kid? No?
No, because I would always lock my brother in a sharpshooter.
I don't have the footage anymore, but me and Elena worked a match against each other in our basement.
Oh, I got bullied by my cousins, so I was always the person getting beaten up.
Oh.
Actually, I would have wrestling match like straight matches with like my cousins as well.
Yeah. Oh no. I think that was something that a lot of us guys did as a kid.
I mean, like when if you watch WWE as like a kid, it's like, do not try this at home. You're definitely gonna be like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna try that shit at home.
They said, do not try this at home. Meanwhile, I'm hitting a pedigree on my sister.
Literally giving my brother a tombstone pile driver and all that.
My sister's snapping off a Hurricane Rana on me.
I wish I was athletic enough to do a Frankensteiner.
Yeah, I don't know if you could or not. But so AJ's playing hockey. He gets hurt his senior year. He can't play hockey anymore. So Jimmy buys him a hockey team.
17 years old.
17 years old, GM of a hockey team. He wanted the team to be a mix of pro wrestling and the Mighty Ducks. Sure.
Which, like, I don't know how you're gonna do that, because, like, I don't know. The Mighty Ducks weren't really the bad guys here.
No.
Well, here's the thing that people forget. Like, AJ kind of did his research when it came to.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there. As to that, but the name Trashers came up because of his dad. I'm gonna be honest. I like the logo.
No, dude, the logo's awesome.
Yeah.
So AJ's is trying to put this team together, and he needs hockey advice. So he goes to his middle school hockey coach, Tommy Teambone Pomposello.
That was one heck of an Italian name there.
And this is one heck of an Italian man.
I was literally like, man, that man has so much Italian pride.
Was he bald, or did he still have a ponytail in the interviews?
I think he was bald.
Okay. Because it wouldn't surprise me if this man had a slick back ponytail at one point.
I bet you he did.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh.
He was checking middle schoolers into the boards.
That's all, dude. I was like, I don't know if that's like a bad thing or
something to be proud of.
Did you hear why he did it?
Oh, he was proud of that.
No, did you hear the reason he gave for doing it?
No.
I forgot what it was.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Oh yeah,
You were on coke? Slamming middle schoolers?
Were we even born by this time, or was it still like the 80s?
What was it? He got.
The team was so the team started playing in 2004. So we were around. Oh, we were around.
But when he was coaching middle schoolers and checking them, that was around
If
2004?
AJ was 17 when that happened, it was probably 99.
Yeah, no, I was.
So me and Macy were around.
Yeah.
99, 2000, somewhere in there.
But yeah, it still makes sense that he was doing coke, at least from like late 80s to early 2000s.
So then we get the first player. Well, Brent Gretzky was the first player the Trashers signed. But the
Right.
first player that we get introduced to is brought to AJ by T-Bone here in a shot of him being taken away in an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs and leg shackles.
Oh, is he that guy that's missing that finger?
Yeah, Brad Winfield.
Was it Wingfield or Winfield?
Wingfield, I think.
Okay.
The definition of a hockey goon. And I love it.
Crazy.
Oh, he was. He really was. Tommy, how did AJ build this team? Did you catch how he did it?
Oh,
What was that?
you ever watched Moneyball?
No.
Yes.
You know how? So watch Moneyball, right?
Oh,
You've seen
yeah.
the scene?
Love that movie.
Like, he's cheap, and you know what? Guess what he does? Say it.
Gets on base.
He gets on base. He did it statistically. Like, he saw patterns and stuff like that, which props to him. Like, 17 years old, like, that's some pretty, like, complex stuff in patterns and stuff.
So we get meet some other guys that were on the team. One-Eyed Willie.
I felt bad for that guy.
Yeah, I did too. Dude probably had a pretty good shot at the NHL until he lost his eye.
Yeah, I like almost cried because I was like, oh, like
That guy.
dreams and hopes.
A few other guys get signed, and then
The twins.
Well, yeah, the twins, and then we get introduced.
The Nigerian Nightmare, right?
Yes, Roman Nadur. He played for the Sabres, Rangers, and the Atlanta Thrashers in the NHL. He was all right. There's a reason that he's playing for the Trashers at this point.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that he was like, I'm Nigerian and my parents want me to, if it was anything on skates, it was going to be figure skating. I was like, oh.
I was like,
figure skating.
Which was interesting. We then get introduced to the UHL commissioner, Brad Rochelle. Tommy, you're going to get this reference. Macy won't. He reminded me of Kevin. Hang on, you ready?
No, I told you this. You stole my joke. He looked like Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah. Like, this dude looks like Kevin Sullivan. And he kind of sounded like him. A little bit.
Dude, he kind of did, though. Which was funny. I'm like, see, I can't get my head now.
Introduced to him, he tells AJ, Tommy, or T-Bone, not Tommy, T-Bone and Jimmy, we don't want any funny business. You're trying to be the bad boys of hockey. We don't do that here. What does Jimmy Galante do? First game of the year tells Brad Wingfield to drop the gloves as soon as the puck's dropped. Sure.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure, go ahead.
So there is an interesting little factoid here. So there were actually two teams brought into the UHL at the same time. The Trashers were one. They were in the East Division. And in the West, there was a team that played at Kemper Arena here in Kansas City named the Kansas City Outlaws. As well as there was another team that played in St. Charles in the UHL at this time called the Missouri River Otters. So, Outlaws would last only one season. The River Otters had been in the league a little bit longer, since I think 99, and they would fold in 06. So, and then we get introduced to just how brutal this team was at this point. Good Lord. I don't even know if goon's the right word. Because they mentioned it in the doc that they wanted to recreate the 1972 Philadelphia Flyers. The Broad Street Broly's. Yeah, they did. Oh, they did all right.
I don't remember them saying that. I think that just kind of flew over my head.
Could have been. It was, I think it was some T-Bone said. It's either T-Bone or AJ who said it. And then we get introduced to Section 102.
102.
Holy crap.
That is a badass section.
I could see Macy in that section.
Dude, that was hilarious. That was some funny stuff.
They had a goal horn that they would just press at the... So Section 102 was right above the opposing team bench. Which... Whoa. I'd
hate to be the opposing team.
Oh, God.
Dude, yeah, exactly. I would hate to be on the bench and then just hearing, you might have the blues, I'm like, fuck you, and stuff like all that kind of stuff.
Your mother's a whore. Hearing all that kind of stuff. Anytime there was a fight and the Trashers player won the fight, the fans threw a body bag onto the ice.
What?
Yeah, oh, God, you missed that?
I missed that completely. I was probably doing something.
Yeah, they would throw body bags on the ice when a player got knocked out.
Dang. Fun fact, my job sells body bags, kind of.
Okay, moving right along from there.
Well, that's okay.
The commissioner, Richard Brochelle, says that it was WWE meets Slapshot. That is the perfect way to put it. If we're being honest, that is the perfect way to put this. What this team was. Is it not?
No, it was.
Yeah.
Especially the Twins, immediately reminded me of Slapshot.
Yeah. Winfield gets hurt while playing a game.
Bad. I thought they were going to be when he was describing how it happened, how he was pulled back and or pushed back and then yanked by his collar. It almost made me feel like he was paralyzed. It almost gave me that fear that he was going to be I'm paralyzed because of it, and I'm going to be oh my God.
I thought he did say that though.
No, he broke his leg. Yeah. Jimmy Galante calls Brad Winfield afterwards and says, "We have his address. What do you want to do?" Ah!
Yo.
Oh my God. That was a very big, it was a very big, oh shit moment.
It was a
God.
Oh kind of moment.
Hey, yo?
Hey, yo?
Oh my God.
Did he just seriously say this?
All throughout this, we're just hearing about how there'd be incentives, let's call them, for great plays and such by the team, where they'll just get $10,000 for doing something, winning a fight, scoring a game-winning goal, whatever it would be. And so Winfield's hurt. Nigerian Nightmare gets suspended. And then we get probably the most pivotal thing to happen in the hockey world in 2004. The NHL lockout begins.
Lockout.
This sucked as a hockey fan. I'm just going to let you know that right now. A lot. But AJ looks to turn a negative into a positive, as he's going after Michael Rupp of the New Jersey Devils. And just seeing the highlights of those old Devils, dude, God, they were so good.
Well, because, wasn't it during this time, these leagues were, independent of the NHL, so they could still play?
It's the same thing as the MLB that they're having going on right now with their lockout. The minor leaguers aren't affected by it.
Okay, that's okay. All right.
So, but yeah, Michael Rupp gets brought in to play for the Trashers. This is where my notes kind of go a little bit quiet because they do a lot into the FBI investigation of Jimmy Galante.
Yeah, that was kind of the stuff where I was I know it's kind of like a mob documentary, so I'm gonna be seeing a lot of this stuff. So
yeah, I just made a lot of notes about hockey itself. And this John Cena came to a Trashers game.
No, not just any John Cena. Doctor of Thugonomics John Cena.
United States champion John Cena.
Let me,
Holy God.
Let me out into this spinning disc thing.
Oh, that took me back for a moment there, too, when that happened.
Is it wrong? Kind of like that version of the U.S. title belt?
No, I kind of like it, too, but save that for Wayne. Save that for Wayne. Trashers make it to the Colonial Cup final. They lose to the Kalamazoo Wings in the finals. And then the boot falls.
Oh, crap. My arm went numb.
The boot falls. The FBI raids Jimmy Galante's trash business and the Trashers as well. And this is where it all falls apart, pretty much.
I believe he was also they were funneling money into.
Yeah, it was money laundering for the Trashers. Which, yikes, that's not great.
Yeah, no, that is not a good look.
No.
No, and it also had to do with one other mob boss too. And didn't they say something about a certain mayor was getting paid off by one of them or something?
Yeah, another mayor in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I mean, the corruption was deep. Was really deep. Jimmy Galante got 87 months for everything. Which...
Crazy.
God. After that, the Trashers folded because, I mean, they got caught up in being an illegal business, and they had no more money backing. So,
money.
AJ then stepped away from the spotlight, I guess you could say. Just started driving a truck for a local company there in Dansbury. He now owns a boxing club, and he promotes boxing matches in Danbury, which I enjoy. I mean, that's pretty good.
Well, I thought it was very interesting, and it kind of made me happy for him that he did it all by himself.
Yeah,
from
it wasn't Daddy's money. It wasn't Daddy's money. He did it himself.
Yeah, that was the coolest thing. I'm like, see, that's...
Yeah. Jimmy Galante's now out of jail. That's where the documentary ends. I do have additional notes here for you that weren't mentioned in the documentary. The Trashers were in the league from only lasted 2 seasons, and they lost in the finals each year that they were played. So they played from 04 to 06. The UHL actually folded in 2010. So it's no longer around. And there's only 4 teams left from the UHL. And those teams are the Evansville Icemen that are now the Jacksonville Icemen, the Fort Wayne Comets, and the Kalamazoo Wings. All 3 of them are in the ECHL, so they play against the Mavericks. And then the Rockford Ice Hogs are now an AHL team. So, and they're the minor league affiliate for the Chicago Blackhawks. So just a little interesting note that I had there, because I was curious. But yeah, so that's the story of the Dansbury Trashers. The FBI was wiretapping and doing all sort of this stuff the whole time that the Trashers were playing. What thoughts of what could have been done better in the documentary? What you would have thought that they could have talked a little bit more about?
That's a good question.
I don't know exactly from my standpoint, honestly.
I would have preferred a little bit more of the hockey, a little bit less of what the FBI was doing.
Well, I mean, it's kind of it was a hockey / mob documentary.
But I feel like half of the documentary was a lot of stuff we didn't need to hear about, and they were just repeating as to the FBI investigation.
Right.
No, See, I could have gone less mob stuff, more like hockey. I'm in your boat. Like,
Yeah. Because, I mean, they were good.
oh, they were.
They made it to the finals each year, like I said, but... All right, out of 5, what are we giving this, guys? Same way me and Tommy give match ratings. You can do
I'll give it
You can do 0.25, 0.5, 0.75 as well, by the way.
okay. I'd probably give it a solid 4.
The 4 for me.
Tommy, you're giving it a 4 as well?
Yep.
I'm giving it a 4.25. All right. Macy, what do you have us reviewing next week?
Let me just get it up here for a second. So it's not sports related, but it is probably one of the almost the most beloved person that people used to watch. I feel like. Bob Ross. Happy Accidents, Betrayal, and Greed.
All right, and we will be reviewing that next week here, as we don't have any sports to talk or any football to talk about, so we'll just do that. It is now time for picks this week. This past week, out of the 6 games that we did, Tommy got 4 right, Macy got 2, and I got 5 of them right.
I'm pissed off. Then again, I was idiotic enough to pick Michigan State last week, so here we are.
Yep. Pick better.
Look, man, it's Michigan State at home. I thought they were going to pull off a win, okay?
Well, they didn't. So, here we go this week. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 games in total. 5 from the NCAA, 2 from the NHL, and actually 1 from the NBA.
What? We have 1 from the NBA?
What?
For basketball?
We're going to review NBA? What?
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 NBA. Talk about Bulls. Talk about Grizzlies. Talk about them basketball. Thanks. No response from that. Love you guys.
Let's get on with it.
Tommy has Destiny 2 to keep playing.
Yep. Here, I thought I'd check the campaign would be a couple hours. Would be like a quick, like, couple hours. Nah. I'm still playing it right now.
Of course. All right, first game on the list. Number 22, Ohio State travels to number 15, Illinois. You going with the Buckeyes or the Illini?
I'll take the Illini. I'm not going to get burnt on picking Illinois.
All right, Macy?
I'll do Illinois. I'll be different.
No, we all have Illinois.
Oh, I thought he picked the other one. I'm so sorry.
No. So you're taking Illinois?
Yeah.
All right. I have Illinois as well. Clean sweep on Illinois for us. Next game, number 6, Kentucky at number 18, Arkansas. Wildcats and Razorbacks.
Arkansas.
Macy going with the Wildcats.
Arkansas?
She
No.
said Arkansas. Hey, Kentucky?
Oh. Arkansas.
Sorry.
Going with the Razorbacks. My bad.
No, it's fine. I might have broken up, so.
Tommy?
I'll take Arkansas. Just their showing out against Auburn just really impressed me. Is this game in Arkansas or Fayetteville?
It is in Fayetteville.
Okay, yeah, I'll take Arkansas because
I'm
they're
trying-
showing.
I'm trying to
It's
do my
Auburn.
best to hide my accent here.
Just say Arkansas.
No, doesn't feel right. I actually am gonna go with Kentucky here. They are coming on strong right now. And it's really getting scary. If I'm Auburn, I'm getting scared. You got Kentucky there, you got Arkansas there, Tennessee, Alabama. I mean, everyone's really breathing down your necks right now. Speaking of Auburn, next game is number 3, Auburn at number 17, Tennessee, up in Knoxville. Who do y'all got?
Who was it again?
Number 3, Auburn at number 17, Tennessee.
Auburn.
All right, Macy's going with the Tigers. It is in Knoxville, by the way, Tommy.
Okay. I mean, I'll take Tennessee.
Tommy going with the Volunteers. Auburn looks really out of sorts right now. I don't know what it is.
I'm not picking Auburn's because they just
Yeah.
are right now.
I will go with the Volunteers as well. Tennessee is playing really well right now. Besides that slip up against Kentucky. Next game, number 5, Kansas at number 10, Baylor down in Waco, Texas.
Kansas.
Yeah, I knew who Macy was going to pick. She's going with the Jayhawks.
Hey, quick question: did Baylor win last night?
Against Oklahoma State? Yeah.
They won in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this is always such a good game.
Oklahoma State clanked the game winner.
Oh, they lost? I thought Baylor won.
Yeah, I'm saying Oklahoma State clunked the game winner. As in clunk.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, wait. No, I know what you're talking about. It's a tough one.
It is. Baylor's had a rough stretch here.
I know, and here I thought they were gonna be like.
I thought they were going to run away with the Big 12. But after that loss to Alabama, they just haven't been the same.
I'll take. Man, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm gonna take Kansas.
Wow. I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going Kansas. It pains me to say that.
Like that, but here we are.
Yep. Final college basketball game. Number 1, Gonzaga at number 23, St. Mary's.
Gonzaga.
Why did you put this on the picks?
Because there's no other top 25 matchups this week.
Gonzaga.
I am going with Gonzaga as well. The last game was actually a lot closer than a lot of people thought it would be. But Gonzaga came out with the victory. NHL time. It's the NHL Stadium Series game in Nashville, Tennessee at Nissan Stadium. Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Nashville Predators.
I mean, Brock, you already know who we're going to pick, so.
Me and Tommy have the Predators. Or at least Tommy does.
Yeah, no,
I know.
Right down.
Yeah. No, I know.
I'm sorry, it's
Tommy
the
does.
Predators and who?
The Lightning.
Lightning.
Macy going with the Lightning.
Oh,
I have to agree with her. As much as I love Nashville, and I'll be rooting for them. Nashville is struggling right now. They're coming back down to earth. Some key injuries to the lineups kind of hindering them. Next NHL game, New York Rangers at the Pittsburgh Penguins. Battle for the East and pretty much just playoff seeding at this point.
You said who is it? Eagles and who?
New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh.
Where did you get Eagles from?
yeah, I know. How did you get Eagles from that?
The hell?
Sorry, I thought I misheard something.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I know. Rangers?
Macy going with the Rangers. Tommy? Bueller?
I'll take the Rangers.
All right. I am going with the Penguins. They are looking really good right now.
No, this picks bite me in the ass, and I already know it.
That and the Nashville
That's
picks
such
probably
a
will.
top.
Final game on the docket. Memphis Grizzlies at the Chicago Bulls.
Grizzlies?
All right, Macy going with the Grizzlies here.
And DeMar DeRozan has been on an absolute tear.
He has.
So with that, I'll take the Bulls.
Tommy will go with the Bulls. These are two of the best teams in the NBA right now, by the way.
Which is like, I'm like, Golden State's here. Like,
Phoenix.
Okay, the Knicks are not good. Let's calm down.
I said Phoenix.
Oh, it sounded like you. For me, it sounded like you said the Knicks.
No, Phoenix. The Suns. You know, the team with the best record in the NBA right now. The team with only 10 losses.
Pay DeAndre Ayton, please.
They won't. He rejected all offers. I will be going with the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies just look... Honestly, as a Suns fan, I'm scared of the Grizzlies right now.
And not Golden State? Okay.
No, we've beaten Golden State every time we've played them this year. Not worried. Our two smalls are better than their two smalls right now, so... Paul and Booker are beating Curry and Thompson, so... To review the picks that we have... Number 22, Ohio State versus number 15, Illinois. We are all on the Illini in the Battle of the Illabuck.
Ew, just, no.
That's
no,
what it is. Number 6, Kentucky at number 18, Arkansas. I have gone with the Wildcats. Macy and Tommy have gone with the Razorbacks. Number 3, Auburn at number 17, Tennessee. Macy has gone with the Tigers. Me and Tommy have gone with the Volunteers. Number 5, Kansas at number 10, Baylor. We've all gone with the Jayhawks. Number 1, Gonzaga at number 23, St. Mary's. We all have the Zags. Tampa Bay Lightning versus Nashville Predators. Me and Macy have the Lightning. Tommy has the Preds. Rangers and Penguins. Macy and Tommy have the Rangers. I have the Penguins. Memphis Grizzlies versus Chicago Bulls. Me and Macy have the Grizzlies. Tommy has gone with the Bulls. That is picks for this week. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Alright. Freaking, what is it?
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. That's what it was. I was getting there.
I know. Anything else y'all would like to say before we go to wrap up now?
No.
No?
Nope.
You having fun with Destiny 2, Tommy?
Yeah, I am.
That's it? You're not going to give the folks anything else?
No.
No? Happy Tuesday, everybody. As we're recording this on February 22nd, 2022.
The Day of the Witch Queen.
Yes, Tommy, the Day of the Witch Queen.
So, what?
That's the name of the expansion, the Witch Queen.
Oh.
Destiny.
Okay.
Space magic.
Tommy not wanting to socialize with anybody. Because we're not the Witch Queen.
I literally left the house to go get some things at the grocery store, and that's it.
And he has to work tomorrow, so he can't play the Witch Queen tomorrow.
I don't care.
Yeah, you do. You've said it multiple times on this podcast.
Oh,
this is your second job.
No, Destiny 2 is my second job.
That's what I'm talking about. Destiny 2 is your second job. Anyway. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Big Time Talkers this week. This was episode number 35.
I can't believe we're getting there. I'm doing 40 of these.
Sir, me and you are coming up on a full year of doing this again.
She's great.
Oh, damn it.
First time me and you did this was in your car before the Royals-Reds game. Macy's now yelling at her dog.
I mean, let's see. It's been a full year. Done like, jeez.
And it's one of those where it's like, how have we not tried to kill each other yet?
Oh, there have been points.
Oh, yeah, definitely. None that have made it on camera, but...
There you go.
Absolutely zero in the camera.
Yeah, for good reason. Otherwise, Macy, what do you have coming up for us on CSP this week?
Let me check my telephone.
Cell phone, telephone.
Oh. So, Hank the Tank won't stop breaking into California homes.
I'm
you're talking
so glad you're doing this story.
And who may be Hank the Tank? 'Tis a 500-pound bear.
500-pound black bear.
He is a thick boy.
That's a...
Oh boy, he coming. Oh Lord,
Lord.
he coming.
Already coming.
That's what I have. And also, an update in the music world, if you're into music that I am. Simple Plan, Sum 41, and Set It Off are coming here.
Be more specific as to where here is.
Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
What do you mean here?
Who?
No, what do you mean by here? As in where I am currently? Because I am not in Kansas City right now.
No, here in Kansas City.
Okay.
Here in Kansas City, sorry. January, February, March, April, May. May 18th. They will be here.
All right, then.
Yeah.
So that's what you have. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, that's for all the people who are into punk rock. But yeah.
All right, that is what we have coming up here this week on CSP. Tommy, what do you have? What did we do this past week on We Are Not Entertained?
An episode of Superstars.
Yes, we did.
As we always did, we talked about certain people going back to certain companies. I won't say who went where. I'll just say this. Just go watch it so you can find out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was pretty much it.
And what do you have coming up this week on We Are Not Entertained? Because I won't be there.
We'll have the same old, just reviewing Superstars. I'll talk about some news and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Tommy going solo this week because I will be in Indianapolis.
I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea.
What,
Probably
that you go
both.
Solo?
Probably both. Having me go solo?
I mean,
Yeah,
I've gone solo before for Wayne, and it's gone just fine.
Here's the thing with me, it's different, so it might be a good thing or a bad thing, you don't know.
We're going to find out if you can carry a podcast by yourself. And see if you and Macy can do a podcast together or something. I don't know. Other plugs for the channel. We have gone back to our roots, folks. We have gone back to the roots of this very channel right here. And we have uploaded home run horns for college baseball. The 4 that went up this past week was Arkansas, Florida State, LSU, and the University of Tennessee. So all of those are up. None of them last more than 32 seconds. So go give those a check. Pretty good. Decent amount of work on that one. Also, the first ever episode of BTT Offline goes live this week. I don't know when that'll be. Maybe Thursday. But that'll be something to behold, because you never know what you're going to get with that anymore, and that's going to be a YouTube exclusive. So if you're listening to this on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to check us out on the YouTubes at youtube.com/BCard Entertainment. Tommy, where can you be found on Twitter?
You can be found at dude_Rex14. The D and the R are capitalized in my username.
Macy, where can people find you?
Macy_Sheer. The M and the C are both capitalized, I think.
I think it might just be the M.
Oh, yeah.
I can be found at Brock Gorton 99. Only the B is capitalized in that. I did a deep dive in comparison to the modern day Chiefs and the Greatest Show on Turf Rams. Please go give that a look. I did pretty good work with that and pretty extensive research for that.
Yeah, you went a little overboard on that, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
I did what was pretty accurate for it. I feel
Yeah,
like.
but see, highly overboard for it, though.
Whatever. Until CSP this Friday, I've been the Engine Brock Orton.
I've been the main man, Tommy Haley.
I've been the emo that listens to Screamo, Macy Shear.
And until CSP, we'll see you all next time.
Be sure to drink water.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.